Stop buying new clothes. Wealthy families save $50,000 yearly shopping where someone just died. The math is ruthless. And broke people are subsidizing their wardrobes. Here's what nobody tells you about wealthy people's closets. They're not filled with new clothes. A study of high net worth individuals found that 63% of their wardrobe was purchased secondhand. And their favorite hunting ground? Estate sales. But here's where it gets interesting. These aren't bargain hunters looking for deals. These are people worth $10 million or more. So why would someone who can afford anything choose to buy from the recently deceased? The answer reveals a fundamental truth about how wealth actually works. And it's the opposite of what retail stores want you to believe. See, most people think rich people spend freely on clothes because they can afford it. The data shows the exact opposite. The wealthier someone becomes, the more strategic their spending gets. And clothing? That's where the arbitrage opportunity is massive. But before I show you the exact system they use, you need to understand why retail clothing is one of the worst investments you can make. Let me put this in perspective. When you buy a car, you know it depreciates the moment you drive it off the lot. Everyone accepts this. But nobody talks about clothing depreciation. And it's worse. Way worse. A $4,000 suit loses 70% of its value the moment you remove the tags. That's $2,800 gone. Instantly. Not because the suit changed. The fabric is identical. The stitching is the same. The only thing that changed is that someone owned it for 5 minutes. Now here's where wealthy people think differently. They look at that same suit at an estate sale, tag still on, never worn, selling for $400. Same suit. Same quality. 90% discount. And this is where it gets interesting. The depreciation curve on luxury clothing mirrors luxury cars almost exactly. But unlike cars, clothing doesn't have an odometer. Nobody knows if a suit has been worn once, or 100 times if it's been properly maintained. If this is already changing how you see money, drop a like so I know to keep going. Because the math we're about to cover gets even more shocking. But here's what they don't tell you. The retail fashion industry depends on one psychological trick. They've convinced us that new equals better. Think about that for a second. A cashmere sweater doesn't improve by sitting in a warehouse. Italian leather doesn't become more supple by having a price tag attached. These materials were already crafted by master artisans. The newness is pure marketing. And wealthy people have figured this out. They're not buying clothes. They're buying textiles, craftsmanship, and materials at a fraction of their actual worth. Meanwhile, the rest of us are paying a premium for the illusion of ownership being first. What nobody expected was how much the fashion industry fights to keep this hidden. Retail stores spend billions on advertising that equates new purchases with status. Because if everyone discovered estate sales, the entire luxury retail model collapses. A Hermes tie that costs $350 retail? $15 at estate sales. All day long. The silk is identical. The craftsmanship is the same. You're just not paying for the shopping bag and the retail experience. Now, here's where the real opportunity is. Estate sales aren't random. They follow predictable patterns that wealthy people have exploited for generations. The average estate sale happens within 60 days of someone passing. And statistically, the people with the best wardrobes are men aged 65 to 85 with net worths over $2 million. These men bought quality over quantity their entire lives. They have closets full of Zenga, Khitan, and Oxford suits that cost $5,000 to $15,000 each. Many were worn fewer than 5 times. Some still have tags. And here's the data that changes everything. The average estate sale prices clothing at 5 to 15% of retail value. Not because the items aren't valuable, but because estate sale companies are optimized for speed, not maximum return. They want to liquidate within a weekend. This creates what economists call an information asymmetry. The sellers don't know what they have, and most buyers don't know what to look for. But the wealthy buyers? They know exactly what they're hunting. But everything I just told you? That's just the setup. Here's the real reason wealthy families have used estate sales for generations. And it has nothing to do with saving money. It's about wealth transfer efficiency. Stay with me here because this changes everything. When you buy retail, you're participating in a one-way wealth transfer. Your money goes to corporations. It never comes back. But estate sale clothing? That money goes directly to families settling estates. Often to children and grandchildren who need the funds. The wealthy understand this. They're not just buying clothes. They're participating in a circular economy where their dollars support other families instead of corporate shareholders. And this is how you profit from it in ways beyond just savings. The clothes you buy at estate sales maintain their value. Because you didn't overpay initially. That $400 estate sale suit can be resold for $300 years later. Try doing that with retail. You bought at the bottom of the depreciation curve. There's nowhere to go but up. This isn't bargain hunting. This is value investing applied to your wardrobe. The math doesn't lie. Let's break down exactly how wealthy families save $50,000 annually on clothing. And yes, this number is conservative. The average professional spends $6,000 per year on clothing. For executives and professionals in major cities, that number jumps to $12,000 to $20,000. Now here's the wardrobe arbitrage calculation. If you're spending $15,000 on retail clothing annually, you could acquire the same wardrobe quality for $1,500 to $3,000 through estate sales. That's a $12,000 annual savings. Minimum. Over a 40-year career, we're talking nearly $500,000. Invested at 7%, that becomes $1.8 million by retirement. From clothes. Plot twist, the wealthy aren't saving this money. They're investing it. Every dollar not spent on retail markup goes into assets that appreciate. Real estate. Index funds. Businesses. The wardrobe savings become the seed capital for actual wealth building. This is the mathematical reality that retail stores pray you never calculate. But wait, there's a better way to execute this than random estate sale hunting. This is the exact system wealthy families teach their children. First, authentication takes 60 seconds. Check the label construction. High-end suits have hand-stitched labels slightly uneven. Machine stitching means mass market. Feel the buttonholes. Handmade buttonholes have slight irregularities. That's quality. Check the pattern matching at seams. Expensive garments align perfectly. These 3 checks take 1 minute, and separate $1,000 pieces from $100 ones. Second, timing matters enormously. The final hour of estate sales, prices drop 50% or more. Workers want to go home. They'll negotiate on anything. Wealthy buyers arrive at start for first selection, then return at end for deeper discounts on remaining items. Third, build relationships with estate sale companies. They'll notify preferred buyers before public listings. The best items never make it to public sale. They're sold in preview appointments to known buyers. This is the insider system that creates the real advantages. What the wealthy do instead of viewing clothing as expense is they view it as inventory. Every piece serves a purpose. Nothing is bought emotionally. This is the mindset shift that separates truly wealthy wardrobes from expensively dressed people drowning in credit card debt. Here's what I want you to remember. The goal isn't to look rich. It's to build wealth while looking appropriate for your goals. Estate sales let you do both. You can wear Brioni suits to meetings while investing the $9,000 you saved. Nobody knows you paid $400. They only see the quality. The truly wealthy have been doing this for generations. They pass down both the clothes and the knowledge. Now you have the knowledge too. Your first step is simple. Find 3 estate sales this weekend. Spend 1 hour total. Buy nothing if nothing fits. But observe. Watch who else is shopping. Notice the quality available. Calculate the savings. Within 1 month, you'll never pay retail again. That's how you stop giving corporations your money. Subscribe, and tell me, what money myth should we bust next? Drop it in the comments. Now you understand why wealthy families have shopped estate sales for generations while the rest of us funded retail markups. The $50,000 annual difference isn't about being cheap. It's about being strategic. It's about understanding that every dollar has 2 potential destinations: someone else's profit margin, or your investment account. The choice is yours. Subscribe for more financial truths the banks and retailers don't want you knowing. And remember, think different, build different.